In this channel, I will speak a lot about honesty, the importance of honesty in healing. I haven't decided what I'm going to be speaking about, and I think I feel anxiety. Mm, I have the pull to perform. This is an example of honesty. Mm. Now there's the thought about ending the recording because there's no orientation in what I'm going to be saying, and I feel amusement related to that. Yeah, there's really like this pull to try to make something, to perform, to make a good video. I sense pressure in my chest. There's a thought that nobody's going to be interested into hearing about that. This is actually an example of what honesty can look like. There's that practice called honest sharing that I do daily. It's been very helpful in my journey, and I could just share about it. So the creator Gopal, it came to him as a challenge. He realized that there would not be enough therapists on this planet to help all the human beings to be healed, and he was praying for months or for a long time to get the answer. And this practice came to him already like complete with all the details. He didn't make it up. And so I'll join some links in the description of the video. There's like a Telegram group where you can find other partners, the ebook with the description, the instruction of the practice, even a book on relationship healing, which was a big game changer in my journey. So I right now I sense contraction in my chest. This is some things that the way things would be sharing in the honest sharing. So how does that work? It's like kind of a meditation with a partner. You can do it with up to 6 persons. Usually it's try the Gopal recommend not making it more than 6 to make sure it doesn't take too much time, and we share like from 5 to 10 minutes each, one after the other, and only it's not a dialogue, so one person share and the other they just listen, give their full attention, and they're not listening with like nodding and showing, and they're trying to be as neutral as possible. I mean, if there's a smile coming, you know, you don't have to push it away, but just to try to, the point is to give your full attention and not to be in interaction with the other. And the person share in 3 different layers. Like earlier I gave example of the sensation. You say what kind of sensation and in which part, and you share it as not I am tensed, I feel tension. You share it as an object in you, so it brings distance, it brings disidentification, and like this it allows it to not be overwhelming. That way it can allow it to be more transformed, and it also allows it like, let's say you share a thought, the other person receiving the thought, when it's shared like, my head thinks that you're not listening to me. When you share it like this, there's less chance that the other person will be triggered by it, will be defensive. But at the same time, when you start this practice, it's suggested to do it, to keep it at level 1, There's different layers of sharing. The level 1 means that everything that is shared is not related to other participant in the practice. So this thought that I shared about uh, the other person not listening, that would not be shared. But at some point, when you master this level 1, then you can include this, and this can, in intimate relationship, can be very helpful, because things that are not communicated, they can become stuck. Let's say, for example, I have a thought related to my partner that she's, I don't know, I could try to find an example, that she don't care about me. If I don't communicate this, I might have this thought stuck, and I can think about it all day. Oh, but once you're able to communicate it, then you can let go of it, and you can have the feedback from the other, and actually that, no, I'm listening now, and you can see that your projection, they don't always necessarily reflect reality. And when it's shared as a thought and not as a truth, then it can be received, and there's less chance that the other person will be defensive about it. So yeah, so you share about sensation. The usual sensation are like itchiness, lightness, heaviness, cold, warm, heat, burning, movement. mm. And then there's the feelings. I feel sadness, I feel anger. And it's recommended that when you share about these things, you don't act it out. So you're not raising your voice. You're not, yeah. And also another thing that's suggested, recommended, is to try to stay as still as possible, because one of the way that we release uh, energy, or how we feel, or sensation, is by moving the body, fidgeting, or different ways, or even like, yes, if you're raising your voice, or like pointing, or different ways. And this can then you bypass the opportunity of communicating. For example, there's itchiness there, and I scratch it, and instead of, there's many things that could be communicated instead of acting out on it. I sense itchiness on my cheek. My head think that I feel drawn to go scratch it. My head think that if I don't scratch it, I'll get crazy. My head think that I don't like to control myself and not scratch myself when I feel like doing it. So just by not following this compulsion of scratching, there's a lot of things that comes up that can be communicated. So I give example about my head think, about how you share thoughts. You share, my head think that. I was feeling that this formulation sounds strange. I would rather have said my mind thinks, or even in my mind there is a thought that. That's this. That's a formulation that's recommended in in this approach. And then, yeah, so I'll include the description of the whole practice. So basically, you do this, and the other person listens. And it's yeah, it's very powerful practice. If you have any questions related to this, I'd be glad to say more about it.